Shave for the Brave.
Shave for the Brave is coming through, annual campaign. There's so much to talk about. Of course, the man to my left, the one and only Jeff Eaton, and below, Mark Dobbin. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thanks. How about yourself?
You got a beautiful spot. I don't know where you are, but the red leather, man. Come on.
Gotta like it.
I love it. So I want to start off by actually linking up some memories here between you both based on the good work that you've done so far in this campaign. Jeff, talk about how Mark came to be on board. We'll go from there.
Yeah, Mark. Mark has been connected to the Shave for a while. Mark, do you remember your first connection to the Shave for the Brave?
Yeah, it was, a lot of years ago now when my son Michael, who was still in grade school, volunteered, and I went to support him when he did his shave. So
Right.
that was my initial connection. We've kind of been in touch ever since.
So that was like, Mark, I'm going back, I think I'm right in saying '09.
I think you're right.
Community Shave, St. John's Mall, hair going everywhere, people crazy, pre-COVID times for sure. Amazing, awesome energy. And then, traded messages and connections with Mark off and on a bunch of times, but really, as I often do, Donnie, like pretty much every day of life, really. I mentioned to Mark one time, we haven't had you at the Shape of the Brave yet. You got a lot that wicked head of hair. And he was immediate and said, you know what? Oh yeah, man, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And it's just about finding the stars aligning up and getting us to that point where we could actually get the clippers going. And that's what we were able to do last year. So even though COVID threw a wrench in things, we did make that happen and had an incredible event last fall at Landwash Brewery, and got Mark the most powerful haircut of his life. And we were super pumped about that, and glad to have him be part of this year's campaign now for 21.
Very cool. Mr. Dobbin, I mean, it takes a lot to give the hair off your head for a cause. Talk about all that.
Well, there's a lot of different motivations, inspired by my son who did it. I have friends and colleagues, guys like Rob Crosby and Carl Smith, who preceded me in doing it. So, following their leadership and kind of joining that club. And then you have the motivation of wanting to support the really good work that Young Adult Cancer Canada does. And I couldn't think of a better cause to throw my weight behind. And the way in which they raise the money, the shave event, is so tangible. It's so in your face. You can see it. Everybody knows you're a supporter. I'm home today, but normally I'm doing these Zoom calls at the office, and I've got the Shave for the Brave hat propped up. So it's kind of like my logo for all my Zoom calls.
I love that, man. That's really cool. Jeff, that must make you smile.
Yeah, it is. Mark hits on a couple of great points. I mean, we appreciate obviously the support of everybody who jumps in to support the Shave for the Brave and the brave young adults that we support every day. And the many unique things about the Shave, but as Mark said, it's not like a regular event that you do, because you literally wear your participation for weeks and weeks after you've done it. So, you go to the walk or the run or the whatever, and you're done, you've made your impact. The Shave is with you after. So all those Zoom calls you were doing last fall after your shave, right? It's like you're wearing that, and you're getting a little more insight into what it's like to be bald or what it's like to be me, maybe. But it's also a huge impact, Mark. Over 68 grand that you raised in your fundraising efforts. Huge impact on the young adults we serve. And that is why another part of the reason why we're so grateful for it. I know you and I were exchanging messages and talking a little bit about your experiences in business as it relates to peer support and young leaders, and just how analogous it was and transferable it was to some of the work that YACC does with young adults. Can you talk a little bit about that peer support idea and how important it can be?
Well, I'm involved with a number of organizations, CDL Atlantic, Propel ICT, and part of my day job is I work with young entrepreneurs. So I'm very aware of the impact on people's lives that having the right mentor, the right guidance, the right shoulder to cry on sometimes is during tough periods of your life. And I can't imagine anything tougher than being at that age, formative part of your life when you're supposed to be out there building your networks and planning your future, and then you get blindsided by this battle that you didn't ask for. You have to fight. So the fact that Young Adult Cancer Canada is able to be there for these brave young adults is very inspiring.
I so appreciate that point. You beat me to the punch, because someone like yourself, who is so successful and so respected in so many circles, you're surrounded by the future of leadership, always entrepreneurship circles as well. So like, to see that truly everyone in that time of their lives is trying to get ahead, and that a cancer diagnosis could be so detrimental. That's what YACC's all about. Hey, Jeff.
Yeah, you said it, and it is, peer support is like this. It's like this built-in human condition. We look for that in all areas of our life, as Mark, you just talked about. Like in the business world, you do it, and in your personal life, you do it. When you're in education, you're doing it. Like it's at all stages of our life. It's this human desire to connect with other people, and I think the thing that makes YACC's mission so important is it just turns out for most young adults. When you get diagnosed with cancer, none of your friends have had it. So there aren't like the natural networks and places that you can go and find. And in fact, most of us, when we go to the cancer center, we see, our parents' friends or our grandparents' friends. We don't see ourselves in that space. So finding those peers who can connect and normalize your experience is incredibly difficult. And that is a core part of what we're all about, right? So those web-based connections, and then soon to be again, who knows when it'll be, but soon it'll be back to those face-to-face connections of climbing Gross Mourne or getting together at conferences. They are truly life-changing for those young adults, because as you said, Mark, they're facing the biggest challenge of their life, and having a community that they can connect with and rely on to help get them support and get them to the next step is a huge part of the recovery.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think that's very well said. So, I mean, listen, what's next? You came, you saw, you shaved your head. It was amazing. Now what?
I'm on the team for a while, so I'm going to continue to help out, be a bit of an ambassador, stuff like this today, and hopefully help recruit future shavers.
I love that.
Yeah.
And for the record, Mark wasn't just in on this. I mean, he committed to growing the hair. His shave got delayed. He kept growing the hair. He was like a high school rock star, mad mullet growth. By the time we got going, the clippers were starting to burn out. He was totally committed to this. And Mark, we're so pumped to have you on the team. And we need all the support we can get, especially in these times. So we're grateful to have you on our team. And I know there's a bunch of excellent community leaders out there that are ready to get the next most powerful haircut of their life. And we can't wait to sign them up.
Shave your head. Details at shaveforthebrave.ca.
Brought to you by Browning Harvey, CIBC, Oz FM, NTV, and the Newfoundland Herald.